Check it out. Don't nothing happen overnight. Robbery, lottery, and red-eye flights. Foreign talk shows, episodes of Dolomite.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of FG Unleashed. How y'all doing today, man? You know what I mean? I'm just taking it easy before I get ready to go to work. Go punch that clock. You know what I mean? Got these 60-hour weeks, 50, 60-hour weeks, they get long, man. But at the end of the day, they pay the bills, no doubt. What I wanted to chop it over with y'all today was about, man, I had a homegirl call me, and good friend of mine, you know what I mean? Originally out the set, but, got her life together and stuff like that. And she called me about her son, and I get these calls from, cousins and friends of the family and all this, and they be like, I need, when they call, they be like, man, I need you to come on here and beat his ass, you know what I mean? And I be like, listen, man, that ain't always the solution, especially from somebody who's not his father or, not talking to him on a regular basis. I mean, you can't just pull up and start whooping ass because, you mad today, and that's one of the topics I wanted to jump on today is, there's a lot of single parents out there, single mothers, a lot of single mothers, and these babies of y'all, especially the boys, because usually the girls tend to do good. But these boys, man, I'm hearing it more and more. I mean, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, man. And, I hate to get on here talking shit, but at the end of the day, man, iron sharpens iron, man. You know what I mean? And somebody got to tell these dudes, man, that this, kicking back, because you can chill at your mama house and she not sweating you. And you kick it back at home playing video games all day, smoking weed and chilling, that's that bullshit, homie. You know what I mean? And, she called me because, he said he was going to work. She knew he was lying, he kept on lying, And once these boys get, 18, 19, 21, I'm not talking about the ones in school, you know what I mean? The ones still going to school, hey man, do your homework, do your chores, I got you. But the ones that's out of school, and you're not trying to go to college or you're not trying to take a trade, you're just trying to sleep in my house and chill and wait for me to feed you and wait for me to clothe you and wait for me to, and you 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, shit, I wish I would, homie, you know what I mean? I got older boys, older kids, period. I have 4 grown kids that's out the house. My oldest daughter, man, I'm so proud of her. She doing great. My sons, they doing decent, but at the same time, they can't come live here. You know what I mean? You can't come live in my house. And they say if you fall on your ass, I understand we all need help at some point in time, And if that situation was to come, yeah, you just come stay for a minute. But best believe every day you looking for a job, I'll get you one by tomorrow or something. You're going to do something, When I came home from the feds, man, doing all that time, and the people was talking about felons can't get a job, and I wasn't trying to hear that. Man, I worked temp agencies, I worked weekly jobs. I did everything I can till I, was able to get in the position that I get into now, and a lot of people don't know is that, I delivered gas to the gas station. I went on, got my CDL, drove for a while, and when I got off federal paper, I went and got my hazmats. I jumped into the fuel business, and like I say, I deliver gas to the gas stations. And right now, speaking of gas, gas so high it's crazy. You know what I mean? And but it's still getting delivered every day, and we still gotta buy it, unfortunately. But back to these dudes. You know what I mean? Listen, these dudes laying up on your couch, smoking weed, chilling, got their boys coming over while you at work, and you come home and all you do is talk a little shit. It's going to have to be more than that. It's really just not their fault. So when my homegirl called me talking all this shit, and this dude 22 years old, hold on. What was you doing between him out of high school till he 22 years old? Evidently, you've been allowing this shit. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, man, you got to get on the parents, not just women, parents, period. You know what I mean? You may be a father that you and your kid's mom may not be together, but that's still your responsibility, man. He's still your responsibility, and you shouldn't be letting him lay up over his mom's house, and not do nothing. And don't get me wrong, I know how some of these women is, that's my baby, he can do, blah, blah, blah. But that's still your son, man. So you still gotta, regardless of what the woman say, iron sharpen iron, men raise men, So when I go over there and I talk to him, I wasn't going over there to whoop no ass, but I definitely went over there and had a chat with him, you know what I mean? And at the end of the chat, it's basically like, I had to bring her in too because she's part of the problem. 1 minute it's all good for him to do this, And then some months later, now you want to talk shit about how lazy he is. He ain't doing nothing. No, you have to make him from the time. Well, really, it's all in the raising, But you got to get on these dudes. If they living in your house, come right after high school. Oh, you have to make a decision. Now, I don't recommend you putting your kids out. That was what they did to us. Put the kids out as soon as they graduate high school. Come on, man. Times ain't the same no more either. My first apartment out there in Downey, California, first little 1-bedroom I had, $500 a month. I mean, those times don't exist no more, especially right here in Southern California, So, give your kid a shot, give him a chance to, go get some checks, Right now, my 17 and 19-year-old still in the house, they both work. My 16-year-old, no, she don't work. She go to school and, I got you. But my 17 and 19-year-old, they go to school and work, but that's their money. You know what I mean? I coach them to put up 30% of your check, every paycheck. That's all I ask you to do. You don't have to pay no bills around here. But you're going to save some money. So when you do need something or your car do need something, I still may pay for it, but I want to know that you got the money in the bank just in case if I didn't. I want you to be independent financially. And that's one thing that we not teaching our kids about the financial awareness that need, because they're not teaching it in high school. They're not teaching you how to balance a checking account. They're not teaching you how to have a good credit score so you can apply for loans, or get grants and financial aid, and things of this nature, So look, I talked to him, I talked to her. True enough, dude, lazy as can be, man. I really wanted to bust him up because his mentality was, as long as his mama got somewhere to stay, he got somewhere to stay. And I'm like, dude, do you even hear what you're saying? You know what I mean? And what happens is when these young boys get to living off their moms and they so used to being dependent on their moms, guess what they go out in the street and do? They go out in the street and they get a woman and start being dependent on the woman. This is a cycle that's going on and on and on, and I'm starting to see it more and more and more because I'm seeing dudes 30, 35, never had their own apartment before. You know what I mean? So, I'm like, damn, this is a real problem. You know what I mean? And these are some of the issues that, like I say, I'm trying to hit the forefront on to where, we can have some kind of something going. We can talk to these dudes. We can have, not say job fairs because those are everywhere, but even have the meeting before the job fair on how to prepare for the job, on how to, shake another man's hand or employer's hand, whether she man, woman, or woman. Give these dudes, something that, and not just that, also, light the fire under their ass. You know what I mean? Let them know that this ain't what we do as men. You know what I mean? And men, I see so many dudes, living with their baby mamas and, living off a female, dude, it make me sick. You know what I mean? Young dudes, if y'all watching this, man, for one, get your shit together. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying you gotta, of course, I would love to see, you rich, but at the same time, maintain. You know what I mean? Make it to where, you can't get put out. You know what I mean? I always said, man, a lot of people know my story that, I lost my whole family at 17, 18, and 19. So I've been on my own since I was 19 years old. So I was through out there and I had to, survive and make it happen. But my mentality was never go live off a bro. You know what I mean? We all have, need help sometimes. You know what I mean? Me as well. I've definitely needed help. But how long is you gonna need help, dog? You know what I mean? How long is you gonna sit on this couch? You know what I mean? How long is you gonna let your mom or your girl go to work while you sit at home kicking? I mean, that don't bother you? You know what I mean? Ain't no shame in that. You know what I mean? So, and if you call yourself a so-called wannabe pimp, that's some bullshit, homie. You's a sucker if you think that's what pimping is. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I wanted to shoot this message to you dudes that's out there and the parents. You know what I mean? Get on your parents, get on these kids, man. When they fresh out of high school. Make sure you help them find a way and don't let up off of them. You know what I mean? And don't let them be 22 sleeping on your couch. Then one day you want to come home mad and pissed off because, if you got a 22-year-old, you might only be 42 or 45, which is young. So you still want to get out and live your life and do the things you want to do and travel and do all this. But you don't feel you can travel because this dude going to be kicking it at your pad while you gone, or you can't have, per se, male friends or something come over because this dude 22 with an attitude every time you bring. Listen, take control of what's going on in your situation. young dudes, man, get your shit together, man. You know what I mean? You got, if you from Southeast Los Angeles, Compton, Wise, Linwood, Long Beach, they got workforce development right there on Central and Los Angeles, man. You know, you can pull up in there, man. They giving out grants, not loans. They giving out grants to trucking school, you know, trade schools, you know what I mean? And they got all these programs that y'all not taking advantage of. And I'm kind of sick and tired of, you know, people kind of getting that at men saying, come talk to my son when you're not doing what you need to be doing on your end. You know what I mean? Because like I say, my kids can't come here. Not my grown kids come here and not do nothing. You can't kick it right here, partner. While I get up and, you know, my wife get up and go to work every day. Well, you gonna chill while we at work? Hell no, it ain't gonna happen. So listen, like I say, pops, you fathers, these young men out here have, you know, everybody don't get me wrong. But for the dudes who you may not live in the house, you know what I mean? But that's still your son, man. That's still you, you know, you need to get out there and get out to his house and stay checking him. You know what I mean? And make sure he put himself in a situation where he could take care of himself. You know what I mean? You know, you don't have to be balling, you don't have to be rich, but be able to take care of yourself, man. That's what men do. You know what I mean? So, ladies, if you ever had any questions, you can always, you know, hit me in the DM. You know, even fathers, you know what I mean? Some of these fathers got kids that they son is gang banging. You know, they can't control them. You can't live in my house if I can't control you. You know, and I don't mean control every aspect of you as a man, but I controls what goes on in my house. That's no doubt. So I mean, you know, let's try to put some effort towards that, man, and ladies, stop babying these dudes. You know what I mean? These dudes are too old to be treated like babies, you know, because they not. You know, they playing you. Like they gonna play the next woman when they get out your house. You know, and then they gonna try to make you feel sorry for them when you do put them out. You know, if something happened to me in the street, that's gonna be on your fault. No, that's gonna be on your fault, partner. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I know these parents is telling you, get you a job, get you some more education, do what you got to do as a man in order to be, you know, successful in life, you know. And that's just, you know, what's bothering me today about that, man. And like I said, I hate to get on here, you know, always talking shit, but when I see something ain't right, man, I got to speak on it, you know what I mean? And if you youngsters, like you say, you just need some help, you know, reach out, stop being quiet, talk to people about it. I know a lot of men out there that if you just ask them about, man, listen, man, I'm trying to get on my feet, I'm trying to get, you know, take a trade or, you know, do something with my life, and you'll be surprised at how many people will go out their way to try to help you if you're serious. So, you know, hey, thanks for tuning in to FG Unleashed, man. You make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all hit the like button, you know, and y'all know me, I'll definitely be back at y'all, man, you know, later.